Hello and welcome to the Blorecast, your regular serving of aural entertainment with me, James Blore. Another experiment today. I'm outside. If you hear some drumming, that's our annoying neighbour, and if you hear some cars, try to ignore them. I'll process the sound and it'll all be good, I'm sure. I decided to come outside because it's a lovely autumn day. The sun is somewhat blinding me, so I suspect that's probably not ideal, but I wanted to show you our lovely tree. It's a Liquidamma styraciflora, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and it's a beauty. I'm a big fan of autumn, and I have some exciting autumn news for you. Well, it's not really autumn news, but it is news. So I make these videos every week, and they're always about 5 or 10 minutes long. And I put them on YouTube primarily, and also on the sort of podcast server, right? So either people listen to them just orally, or they watch them on YouTube, I guess. And we usually get, I don't know, maybe 20, 30, 50 views on YouTube, maybe a few more, maybe as many as 100, and probably about 50 also through podcast apps and Spotify and stuff like that. So I guess about 100 people are probably paying some sort of attention. Honestly, it doesn't matter. This is my hobby and I'm quite enjoying it, so long may that last. It doesn't really matter how many people are paying any attention at all. But I'm not an expert on any kind of marketing, neither for my school nor anything else, quite frankly, and definitely not an expert on social media. But I thought I'd give it a go and make shorts from the long form videos of about a minute in length. And I put them up on YouTube also, and also on Instagram and Facebook. And usually they get a lot more views because they're shorter, and I suppose people's attention span is limited and nobody really wants to listen to me for 5 or 10 minutes. Oh, well, there's a car. Nobody outside the 100 people who are actually doing it, thank you very much indeed. But most people probably are happy with 45 seconds of my face gurning at them. Anyway, so I try to do that every time and I upload them to those places. And usually they get, maybe 500 or 1,000. So it's like 10 times as many views. And then something weird happened the other day. I made the Halloween podcast with the face paint and stuff. I was dressed as a zombie, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about Halloween, but not too much because I know that people don't really care. And I wanted to do the little nursery rhyme that I did about Slimák, the snail pointing its antennas and then being brutally burnt out of its house. And I just made the short of exactly that nursery rhyme, nothing else, and uploaded it to Instagram and to Facebook and to YouTube. Facebook and YouTube got the normal number of views. Instagram went crazy. I don't really know why. I'm using my phone again today, and I'm hoping that this will be quite a lot better. It's my second attempt, but the first attempt was really quite poor. It looked like it was filmed on a potato, and something caught people's attention and they started watching it, and then I guess the algorithm picked it up. And it just went mental. And I think, hang on, let me look, I wrote it down. As of about half an hour ago, we had 209,000 views. I don't really know why, but there it is. I think my theory is that it's like a nostalgia thing. People like the nursery. I think, I haven't heard that since I was a kid. And then it takes that horrible dark turn. And they think, I didn't even think of that when I was a kid. I was just singing nice songs to snails, not threatening to kill them. And it had a nice clickbaity title, which was horrific Slovak nursery rhyme. So I suppose that could have helped. Possibly, another car. Possibly the fact that it's an Englishman speaking Slovak might help. I get the feeling that people think that I just came here because they're complimenting me on my pronunciation. They don't realise that I've lived here for 27 years and my pronunciation should be a great deal better than it actually was. But anyway, and then there was the makeup, which I suppose might have attracted people's attention. But I think maybe the thing that really made it go crazy is that it turns out to be quite an international thing. There are variations even within Slovakia, some of which are less brutal, and one of them involves throwing the snail at a church so that he becomes an apostle. I don't really understand that one. And there's another one about Vileti Černooký hrozen. And even the person who contributed that didn't know what a hrozen was. So there are various permutations even within Slovakia, but there are also versions of this in other countries. In the Czech Republic, I think they have a nice version, which honestly, I didn't quite understand. There were a lot of words there, which I just didn't get. I shouldn't really try to pronounce it, but I'll do this one. I'm not going to do the other languages. Dám ti krejcar na tvarůžky a troníček na tabáček, bude z tebe hajdalaček. You can write in and tell me what the heck that means. I think that version's probably nice. There is a more brutal, or I would say sinister version, which is something to do with holding scissors. I think, what have I got? Šnečku? Šnečku, vystrč rušky, dokud držím v ruce nůžky. Snail, snail, point your antennas while I have scissors in my hand. Which is not quite as brutal as the Slovak one, but it is in some ways more sinister, more unpleasant. Anyway, in other countries, there are much more pleasant versions. They are much nicer to their snails. In, for example, Poland, we have snail, snail, show me your horns. I'll give you cheese for your pierogi. If not cheese, then cabbage. Cabbage will make you fat. Very nice, nothing wrong there. In Hungarian, apparently it is snail, snail, come out, your house is on fire. So no agency there, I'm not doing it to you. You'll get milk and butter and it'll be there for you tomorrow too. Or something along those lines. So those are pretty nice. Don't know what's wrong with Slovaks and your relationship with snails. In Croatian, we have snail man, let your horns on grandma's white feet. This is not my translation. It was in the comments on Instagram. In order not to sell your house to an old hag for tobacco. Okay, not quite sure what that means. And then in Serbia, I think Serbia takes the biscuit for sheer brutality, even perhaps worse than burning the poor snail out of his shell. It says here, snail, show your horns for us to plough the fields. If you won't, I will kill you with an axe to your head on green grass. Just as the car drives past. I might do that again for dramatic impact. Snail, show your horns for us to plough the fields. If you won't, I will kill you with an axe to your head in the green grass. So there you go. Thank you very much to everybody who's watched it and contributed. That was really quite educational, quite interesting for me. Right. It's going to be a quick one today because I suspect there's going to be an explosion of background noise any moment. The only other thing I wanted to mention was that today is the 5th of November. Remember the 5th of November, gunpowder treason and plot. I see no reason why gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. And so it continues. It's a little nursery rhyme to commemorate Guy Fawkes Night, or Bonfire Night, as it's sometimes called. This is just a British thing. I suspect it means nothing at all to Slovak people. But in 1605, many years ago, there was a at least partially Catholic plot to assassinate the then King James I, I think, of England, who was Protestant, possibly less Protestant than his predecessors, but still Protestant. And now my wife's taking pictures of me. Yeah, anyway, so the plot was foiled and they caught a bloke called Guy Fawkes who was guarding the gunpowder under the Houses of Parliament. It didn't explode, it didn't kill the king, and ever since we have celebrated the foiling of the Catholic plot by having a big bonfire, and originally, maybe not so much these days, originally putting an effigy, like a model of I think first it was Guy Fawkes, and later it was other Catholic figures and other figures of hatred, putting them on top of the bonfire and burning them ceremonially. These days it's not so much fire, but mainly just fireworks. I think when I was a kid we used to have these massive fires and you could go really close to them until you could feel your skin burning off your face, but they don't allow that these days. It's all health and safety, none of that. And they have these firework displays and you have to keep a safe distance, and I'm sure that's all very sensible. Okay, it's probably time for me to finish because, as you can hear, this is classic Slovak village stuff. Somebody's started with the circular saw. I might just give that a minute. Jesus wept, shut up. Okay, we have a quick break in the circular soaring, so I'm going to take this opportunity to say thank you very much for watching. Thank you for being with me. I hope you've enjoyed it. Have a lovely bonfire night. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and share and do stuff like that. I've been James. This has been the Blorecast. Thank you very much, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.